here we are for 2 days setup here. So I got a little carried away when I had painted in the supports. I was like, oh yeah, you know, this is fine. And now I'm like looking at my reference photo and I'm like, I didn't leave enough room. But you see things, right? So whatever. We'll make it work. We'll make it work. We have to make it work. We're gonna make it work. Alright. So we've got our glue. We've got our tissue paper snakes in this like dark, I don't know if I'd really call it hunter green, but you know, to me a hunter green's a lot deeper. I'd probably feel confident calling that like a forest green. Oh, I have a stain on my shirt. I have no idea where it came from. Fabulous. But we're not gonna really see my shirt today, so it doesn't really matter. Really? That's not... anywhere near the bottom. Alright, sorry, we're adjusting her. Oh, I hate being a girl some days. Get out of the shot. I just need a bigger workspace. That's all it is. I just need a bigger workspace. Alright, so I had zoomed back out a little bit, but we're gonna need, I think, to zoom back in a bit more so we can really get in here and see what we're doing. Although it's on a dark background. I don't know if we're really gonna see this, but we might have to zoom in further. And I might have to put the light in my eyes. I mean, we can't zoom in too far, because then it's gonna get all weird and shit. Might be able to see that. Okay. Need scissors. Alright. So, we're going to take some of these paper snake guys, and I'm going to have to cut them a little bit. Probably going to go with about half for right now. So, sorry we started a little bit later today than I had planned on. I always say this, things and stuff. I'm not late, technically, but I had wanted to start sooner. But we had to, I had to get my ass out of bed, number one. Number two, had to help hold the dog still while we were rebandaging his neck, which was not fun. He was a shaking mess. And his line of stitches is a lot longer than I was expecting it to be, because the bump didn't feel that big, but I guess it was bigger under his skin. And then we thought we had it good, and then I hopped in the shower and I got back out and was about to start, and I looked at him and I'm like, hey, those stitches are exposed. We can't be having that. So, he has to, I don't know how often we have to change, the stuff now. I don't know if it's every day now or every couple of days. We had to leave it in place for 3 days. And then they told us to change it on the 3rd day, but I don't know what they told Russell. It has to be changed after the 3rd day. Like, I don't know how often. But the stitches are going to be there for 10 days before he goes back to have them removed. So, yay. We still have to figure out when Russell's doctor's appointment is, because I don't know.
I'll call them one day.
We haven't gotten a call yet, and I thought it was already supposed to have happened. I'm confused, but... because I never know if my parents are actually going to remember, because it's going to come up the same name most of the time, even when something calls for them, because of the health system name down here. About reminding you. Okay, so we're going to do this a little bit differently than we've done some of our other stuff. I'm almost wondering if I should paintbrush this glue in, but I don't know. So we're not working on our peacock body yet. I wanna work on, you know what? It's gonna be a lot of rinsing our brush though. Decisions. Well, we'll try this for a little bit. I'm just knocking everything all over. Actually, my hair's wet. And it's like just draped on my neck. And I feel like my neck can't breathe. It's very humid here today. It is nasty. We had some thunderstorms. Well, no, I can't even really say that. We had some nearby storms that didn't actually take place right over top of us. I'm not even sure if we got any rain last night, but it did storm, I think, over Fayetteville. And when I stuck my head outside to do something before we got started, oh, it was nasty. This is just a kitchen barbecue. If I'm in camera, there we go. A kitchen barbecue skewer that you would like do marshmallows or shish kebabs or whatever on. It's what I use to unclog. Well, actually, I use this for a multitude of things. Or these. I've got multiple. They came in like a whole pack. I'd gotten a couple of containers when we were working on the mini Bob Ross recreates or follow-alongs with the tutorials, and I'd gotten these dollar, I guess you would equate them to like shoe boxes, depending on where you might procure them from. They were basically kind of like a shoebox, and they were $1. But because I needed something with a lid, but I didn't have enough room. I can only fit like 3 across the bottom, so we drilled holes. I just realized I shouldn't have done that because I think there was glue on the other end. Oops. You guys didn't see what I did. That's fine. I have a bad habit of taking paintbrush handles or the handles of whatever I'm working with. I haven't done it with the Stylus because the Stylus isn't long enough, but when stuff's long like this, or even long like this, I will at times not pay attention, and I'm like, oh, but I don't want to sit this down because it's got stuff on it and I'm not done with it. I'm gonna need it in a second. I'll stick it in my hair if I have my hair up or in a ponytail or something. I gotta stop doing that. But yeah, so we drilled holes in the sides of these storage containers, and then we took these kitchen skewers, however the hell you want to pronounce it, and we made like multi-level drying racks in these shoe boxes, and they had a lid so that I could close it, and then we also drilled some extra air holes in the side just for airflow so the stuff would actually dry. Now I'm just using the stick for pressing these down in right now, mostly because it's what's in my hand. Alright, we're actually going to turn this a little and put it completely off frame, because that's what we do, apparently. Okay, so we are down here. So I might end up butchering this in the end, but we're gonna try. It's definitely gonna look a little different. Alright, so there might be spots where I have to cut these down a little bit smaller even. Just to try to fit these in. Like I said, I kind of fucked up. Now that I'm looking at it, I'm like, ooh, I didn't leave myself enough room in between these, but we're kind of committed now, so that's okay. It's all right. We will sort it and figure it out. It will be a-okay. And I'm leaving some gaps here because we're gonna have other colors coming off of here. So it might be a little bit easier to see the other colors as the glue dries, because right now the glue is like taking over because it's such bright white. But it'll be okay. And let's get another one. The stick's kind of working. Kinda. Alright. Get that in there. Hoping we don't waste too much glue doing it this way. Hope. We'll see. We'll see, I guess. So we're just kind of getting in our darker green. I've got a couple other shades of green I'm thinking about bringing in here. I need a piece of paper towel. Alright, so I'm just gonna get the excess glue off of the end of our stick. Alright. Well, yeah, that didn't... I think the stick might be the better way to go in this section. I tried to get that with the brush and it went in the brush, but I wasn't happy about coming out of the brush. It didn't look like that was gonna work the way I was hoping it would. Alright, so some more glue here. I think we're still in frame. Should be. Alright, I feel like I want one here, but I don't have one quite small enough. So we're going to have to take that down just a little bit further. Yeah, it's really hard to see this section. And because it's so much dark on dark. So let me close there. This color's probably not much better. This is more of like a really dark olive. Where'd it go? I cut it and now I lost it. Okay, I was originally thinking we were going to have some of this background show through, but now since we're having some difficulty getting to see these colors. Well, that one might just have to be the way it's gonna be. Nope, that one's attached. Need to put my cut colors closer to their original piles here. So we can actually see what we're doing. Alright, and grab the lighter color. I don't have that much of the lighter color prepped, that's the problem. So I'm getting glue on everything. So I'm not watching where I'm putting my stick. Alright, so we're probably going to have some of the feathers overlapping and sitting on top of each other and stuff, and that's fine. Because I mean, if I really gotta move this back, I keep touching it. I mean, the reference photo kind of has them sitting every which way. And there's certain sections in the reference photo where you've got a couple different shades of green, the way the light is hitting them. And it doesn't help that the glue is white, so I mean, it helps me being able to see it at times, but when it's going down on the camera, it's kind of sort of taken over. This one's just gonna kind of sit in there, not really attached, or you can't really see where it's attached, rather. Snip this guy, and kind of lay him in there. Now, I feel like we need another guy in here. Probably go with this shade. It's already cut. No, No. I don't need you to stick to the stick. I need you to stick to the thing. That is what I need you to do. No, no, no. Yeah, that's better. If you could, like, stick there like that, that would be cool. Alright. So, I'm, like, fussing with this stuff over down in here. See, like, the bright green is showing up gangbusters. Other green, not so much. I'm kind of wondering if we need to switch to working on the body. Since y'all can't see what the fuck I'm doing. I mean, you can definitely see the glue. That much I can pick up. So it's gonna be a little bit airy around the feathers. I know this. Ah, stuck the wrong end in the glue thingy. That was a good job. Yeah, like I know it's gonna be a little bit airy in between our feathers, and that's fine. That's more than fine. Nope, nope, nope. The glue on the end of my stick is just more tempting than the glue I've put down on here, apparently. Friend, you belong there. Thank you. Ah. Now I'm dropping everything. Good job. Alright. And I want to put that in there. Or at least it's gonna start off airy. I may go back in and add some more feather work in between as it dries, but as it stands right now, you laid in there. I actually feel like I want to be... Oh man. I don't know if there's anything I can do to make that a little more visible. There might not be. I need to not be dumping stuff everywhere. That's what I need to be doing. But that's gone out the window now, so. Yay! It wouldn't be an art stream unless I'm making a mess, though, you know? It just wouldn't be. Alright. I think we need to try to tone down all of this. Yeah, let's tone it down and make it even darker. That'll work. That's a brilliant idea. No, it's not. But we'll try to see what we can do here. Now, this is the new paper. This blue stuff. So, I don't know how I really like it yet. I do know it was very tough on the fingers. That's not nearly enough glue. It's very tough on the fingers. When I was twisting it. Okay, alright. We just have green paper everywhere now. Thank you. Good job. Excellent. Don't sit a Ziploc bag that's open with the opening facing downward. Fantastic. That's okay. That's par for the course for me. It's alright. Like I said, I've got to be making a mess of some description. Either I'm covered in paint. I'll tell you, some of these art streams I get done and I'll go in the bathroom to start depainting myself, cleaning up my hands or whatever, and I'm like, where did this come from on my arm? Oh my god, why is there paint under my eye on my face? My glasses were on. How did that even happen? So big advocate for not wearing good clothes when doing this stuff. Because I'm a hot mess. And to be quite frank, I don't know how some of the YouTubers do it when they are like dressed to the nines in like nice outfits and stuff. And I'm like, oh my god, you're not seriously gonna paint in that outfit, are you? And then I'll see someone be like, oh crap, I got paint on this shirt. And I was like, why did you paint in that shirt? I know it's acrylic, but some acrylic paint, actually all of the acrylic paint I've worked with, doesn't come out. Some of them colors have quite the staining power. Of course, when I want it to stay, that's when it washes out naturally. But so we are doing paper circles, or paper snails. Paper snail shells, as I like to refer to them as. Just kind of putting those here on the edges just so we can kind of set up where these guys are gonna sit. supposed to be. Sorry, I'm kind of looking at my reference photo off to the side just to try to remember what the heck I had planned. Sometimes I remember right off the bat. Other time, not so much. So it looks like we've got a dark blue in the middle of our eye feathers, and then it's the lighter, it's the middle blue, like a cerulean blue surrounding it, and then we've got the tannish orange. I think I had started setting up orange for that, but I think I want to go with the tan instead. I think I'd originally was gonna go tan, and then I started going orange, and now I'm like, why did I do that? Because I'm a bit of a muffin at times. Alright, so on this one, since it's like the centerpiece and I don't have anything else for it to kind of be happy with, I'm gonna try to tuck the tail, the outer edge, under the bottom. Now these ones, if you do this before you do the outside of your eye, I call them eyeballs, your eye feathers, your eye part of the feathers, you might have to hold it down for a minute. Because it won't be as thick. Now, twisting these can be a little bit of a trial. I'm not gonna lie. The rosebud snail shell thingies, they can be a bit of a pain to get down in there. Just figured that we would pop these three in while we're over here working. Sometimes you can pop the tail under. Sometimes it's easier not to. It depends on what's gonna work for you, or you could do it in a different shape altogether. You could just squish the tissue paper down in there. I thought about doing that. Like doing either little paper balls or kind of like how we did the trees on the Bob Ross Recreate. And not the trees, the hedge line and the bushes and stuff. But it kind of felt like the wrong texture. And this guy's gonna be fussy. Alright, I'm gonna rinse my brush super quick. And make sure you blot it dry so it will dry faster. At least I've found it dries faster doing it that way. And we'll keep making our little paper guys here. So I'm not gonna freak out if this edge isn't entirely perfect, because I might have to do another layer on top of it. Like maybe not a full layer, but there might be sections where gaps might form as we put like the next section in against it. So then I'll probably do a layer on top in between the two gap sections just to kind of fill it in. And make it look a little bit fuller. Okay. So this is actually one of our feather supports. That's not glue. So yeah, the camera's picking it up a little strangely. It looks a little better on Twitch than it did on my previous screen. Kind of wish we'd gone a little bit lighter on the background now, but that's not that's done and over with, so that's not possible to go back and fix now. Alright. So we will get this next guy. I'm trying to like really smush it in place in between my fingers before I drop it down in the glue. It seems to be giving it a little bit more staying power there. Alright. So that's given some of our other stuff a chance to set up here. I have a feeling we're going to be doing a lot of jumping around. As sections dry. Okay. And what do I want? I kind of shoved everybody off to the side here and out of the way. An intern kind of made it more of a pain in the butt for me. Okay. And we'll grab a little bit more. And we'll stick this guy down in there. And we've got a green guy, a light green guy. We'll put him in there. Some of these feathers are kind of going every which way in certain sections. And some spots look a little oh, sorry, I got deeply confused and my brain ground to a halt. I'm like, where'd the paper towel go I've been wiping my stick off on? Where did it go? It should be here. It vanished. It didn't vanish. It was hiding. I just didn't see it. Alright. So I'm actually going to turn this back this way because I need to get a better idea of where we're at here. Alright. So, more glue. Which we have plenty of. Alright. So let's grab some of that. We're going to come back in with the brush and do that. I mean, you could put it directly on here, but then I'd be smearing it out. Anyway, it just depends on your mood. Really. But because I'm using this for two separate things at the moment, kind of more of the mind of using the cup instead of just putting it directly on the canvas in this spot. You'll see I switch in between doing different things as I go. Alright, now try to pull these circles pretty tight. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes a certain piece of paper is just going to be like, nah. And it's like, what do you mean, nah? It's like, nah. So some of them like to be a little bit more unruly than others. Alright, so we're back on the blue paper for the moment. Sometimes I'll take the fluffier end if there's fluffier. The end that seems to be the least tightly wound on the paper snakes, because sometimes you'll have where one end's a lot tighter looking than the other. Like this one's kind of coming unraveled on that end. I'll stick that piece in the middle because it's a little bigger. And me jumping up here is also giving other things a chance to dry. And get settled in. Or at least that's the plan. Will it work out that way? I don't know. we'll come back to our hotness of featherage here momentarily. Because what I originally wanted to do with it, not happy with it. But that's okay. We will try to figure out how we're going to approach that, because I mean, this is the first time I've done one of these. I've done a peacock at all. Peafowl. So we'll see. This could be the biggest disaster ever, and I probably should have just painted it. But, you know, who hell for that now? You don't know unless you try, right? They're not all gonna be winners. They're just not. It's not how this works. Okay, actually, let me come back to the brush. So, okay, just making sure that we're where we need to be. Okay, so in here, here's what I'm thinking. I think we're gonna take this color. It's not our dark color, it's kind of like our olive color. And I'm gonna start to lay that in. Along the edge here. This one's actually a little bit softer. And I know that sounds crazy, but some of these tissue papers are softer than others. It's wild. Some of them are like crunchy hard. And it's like, why? Why are you like this? And then other ones, other shades are so soft. They feel absolutely lovely to touch. But that is not the case with all of them. Okay, now I saw the color briefly, and I don't have very sorry, I've got tissue bags of tissue paper flying everywhere at me now. Alright, so next in, gonna stick our, it's kind of like a yellow green. I think it's more of like a lime green, but same difference in the end, I guess. Unless I don't have a whole lot ready to go. The only reason I have any at all is because I was using it on another project, and I'm kind of borrowing it from that project's resources. Because I was like, oh yeah, we'll be fine. And we'll just do our dark feathers today. And then I realized we can't see the dark feathers going in. So that's a bit of a problem. And you still really can't see much of what's happening down here. We may have to scrap Project Peafowl. And move to a different color, or move to a different project. And I might have to finish this one off stream. As much as I don't want to. It's not really picking up well on the camera, and that's making me sad. Well, we'll keep at it for a little bit. And we'll see how it goes. Right now, my biggest problem is trying to fill in all the little sections and stuff, so come here, everybody. Can't grab anything. Might be good to have craft tweezers handy, just so you can pick stuff up when you need to. This is looking pretty good in here. So that's something. I am going to zoom out just a little bit. If I can find the corner. Oh, there's what I'm drinking. Completely not sponsored. Let's take that down a little bit. Nope. Still. I mean, you can. Ah! No!
Everything okay?
Yeah. I'm fumbly today.
I noticed.
No, I dropped my paintbrush. You couldn't have gotten it. Not where it fell. And now I have a plastic bottle that came from somewhere. I don't know where. That's being pain. Okay. I am just all sorts of problematic today. Alright. So we've got our blue guys here. You actually might be able to see a little better now that I'm zoomed out. Maybe. Okay. So we're going to be jumping around. So it's probably better that we are a bit zoomed out here. gonna rinse my brush, even though I'm probably gonna need it again in a few minutes. Alright, so I need a couple more of these. Now, let's see if I can get this to work. Sometimes it does. Sometimes it doesn't. Okay. Well, I can tell you right now, we're gonna need a deeper glue bed. I can tell you that right now. Let's try that. Okay, that. No, don't lift up. Oh, you brat. Don't do that. So like I said, sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Alright, so this is just taking two different colored paper snakes. We got the dark blue and the, not the lime green, probably like the middle green. If you can, there we go. So, and then I'm just gonna twist them around each other. It's not as easy as it sounds. And then we're gonna do our rosebud paper snail shell thingy. And the reason I'm doing this is because the section under the neck was kind of two-toned. Where there's a tiny bit of green. Down in here with the blue. So it's kind of giving it a striped effect. You do have to do this part a little bit gently just so you don't rip either color. And these guys do tend to want to unfurl a bit because you've got two colors smushed in there. So these ones, doing the double color, it might end up fighting you a bit. It depends on your tissue paper, really. The softer papers might not fight as much, or resist as much, shall I say. The crunchier papers, the harder papers, they're the ones I've found that tend to be more of a pain with this part. So you might need a stylus, the end of your glue paintbrush, your wooden stick, whatever you've got that can get glue on it. You might need to use it here just to kind of get everybody down in there until they start to grab. into the glue. Or the glue starts to grab them. However you want to look at it. Alright, so we've got a green. And we've got a little guy. So since this is a little smaller one, it might be a little bit harder to get our circle on. What? My hair's in there. That's not good. So I have to keep my hair up. It's everywhere. Especially since I just watched it. I feel like a poodle with how humid it is. I usually leave it down to dry, but since I needed to be leaned over this, it's just all clinging in my face. The less things I have irritating me at any given time, the better. Alrighty. I hope everybody had a good weekend. I mean, it's not quite over, but I've been trying to catch some of the Olympics. I was watching, I think it was a replay because of time zones and shit. I'm not entirely certain, but I think it was a replay of some of the swimming finals the other night. I don't normally watch swimming. I'm not normally that big into it. I don't really know that much about it. It was just on and I was working on a bloodthirsty challenger, so it's like I need something in the background. I was actually trying to find a replay of the dressage and equestrian events, but I couldn't find any. And that made me sad. I don't have the right TV subscriptions, I guess. And I don't want to sign up for a free trial of something because my dumb ass will forget to go back and unsub it. So ended up watching that, and it was so awesome to see the male swimmer from, oh, I'm gonna butcher the name of this country, Tunisia. I might have gotten it right. I think it was the country's, did they say it was the country's second ever gold medal in swimming? And it was definitely this dude's first Olympics, I think, and his first medal ever. And it was just so lovely to see him. So excited. It's kind of nice when the people who aren't always in the forefront of their thing are able to get a moment and you know, get to be like, oh my god, this was actually worth something, you know, all that time and effort, it actually did pay off. And you know, because especially when it's in a sport that you don't normally see that much recognition from other countries, and it's like usually the same big powerhouses in certain sporting events. I don't know, it was just cute. He was so cute in his interview. Alright, so we're gonna let, I kind of like that kind of worked out to how I was hoping that would play out. Oh yeah, I dropped them all. Fantastic. Alright, move that over there. So while that's trying to dry, let me try to clean up my explosion of green tissue paper without making it 20 times worse, which I seem to be failing at. Because, you know, it's me. I'm really not all that surprised. Although I did just find a sticky spot on my desk and I don't know why it's sticky. That's fantastic. Mystery sticky spot. Why are you sticky? I don't know. But that's kind of... Ew, this is sticky too. Okay, well we're gonna throw that away. That's okay. That was cheap. We can replace that. Oh, it's just a hair clip. Okay. The things one puts their fingers in while they're trying to clean quickly. It's a little concerning. Okay. Anywho. Alright, so we need a little bit more on our double colors. Oh, that's kind of small. Actually, all of this color is kind of small. I must have hit a weird spot in sizes. Alright, sorry. As you know, we do Watcher's Choice for music, because I don't want to get in trouble. So, whatever you feel like listening to, turn it on. And then through the power of imagination, like Figment always says, you can pretend that I'm playing that music. You alright?
Yeah, stepping out for something.
Okay. Alright, so that's kind of drying in there. I'm moving too slow. Okay. Brush. And we're gonna... Sorry, I was just checking on the husband. It's awfully sticky out. I was surprised he was stepping outside. He had hurt his foot, and for the first couple of days I didn't want to leave Momo unattended in case he scratched at the thing on his neck, because he was starting to scratch at the bandage they originally had put on, and he was starting to rip the fluff out of it, and I was like, oh no! Because we can't really do Cone of Shame, because it's right on his neck. And, then this floof ball would be absolutely miserable. Cone of Shame would not do anything for where the location of this is, because his back feet can still reach it, so. He was absolutely terrified when we were trying to take the bandage off. He was shaking like a leaf, so I'm like, oh buddy. Broke my dang heart, my cuddle butt. It had to go, though. Or else it would have potentially been a much bigger problem. Okay, you, sir. And, oh, for those that were following me on Twitter, I can't remember if I talked about it on stream. I may have. But for those that were following me on Twitter, and the mouse saga, we think we finally got them all. They had started getting, we'd hit a stretch of bad weather, so the one live trap that we had came down out of the attic space because we didn't want to have to go in the bad weather to drop them, to release them, right? So then Russell partially dislocated his shoulder, and that was being pissy, and he tried to show me how to get the trap up there. I am not good on ladders. My balance is horrible, so I was really terrified to try to do it myself. And then his shoulder started to straighten out a little bit. So then we started getting the trap back up there, and then we weren't really catching much. So then we're like, well, there's going to be some siren noises possibly in the background. I live on a busy street. So we weren't really hearing anything for a little bit. We're like, well, maybe we got them all, right? And we'd put the one live trap up there, and we weren't really catching anything. And we're like, well, all right, I guess we can leave it down for a little bit. Then maybe 2 weeks later, the squeaking started. And we're like, what in the holy fuck? Russell's like, that's it. I am ordering this camera. I'm not digging around anymore. He'd been seeing this camera on a Kickstarter, and it had sold out. And he was mad that he didn't back it when it was on Kickstarter. And, so when they finally got more of them in, he's like, it's back in stock. I am getting this. I don't care. And I'm like, no, fine. You've been talking about it for a while. So he got it. And, we had put it up in the attic. And we put a plate of birdseed and squirrel corn and whatever we thought the mice would be enticed by, to see what we were dealing with. Because at this point we weren't sure if it was bigger than our live trap and that's why it wasn't catching anything or what. Like, we needed to know what we were facing. So when we were looking at the camera, we saw 4 mice, maybe 5, come running for the plate and then go back and then running for the plate. We're like, okay. We tried a bucket trap. They were too smart for that. They're like, ha ha, I laugh at your bucket trap. And they were just like, no, that's cool. Cool story. And they wanted nothing to do with that. So that was fun. That was a waste. And then we had to order, we ordered smaller, multiple traps, live traps. And we got like 6 mice in a week. And we're like, what? We thought we only had 4 or 5 up there. And then we caught like 2 more. I think we ended up catching like a total of maybe 8 with the new traps. And we haven't caught anything in a few days. So we haven't heard any squeaking. We haven't heard any feet running. I thought I heard feet running the one day, but there was nothing in the traps. So we might change out the bait and give it a couple more days, or put the camera back up, see if we see anything. We'll see. Right now we've been using the camera on our front porch. Because the one night we went out for our walk, we were like, oh, what's the, we saw a cat that we'd never seen before, and we're like, where'd that cat come from? And it was a little strange, to say the least, and it was a little surprising. And it was kind of heading from not our neighborhood into our neighborhood, sort of. And we're like, huh. Then, because we knew there was 2 different cats coming up on our porch now. One is absolutely terrified of us and takes off the second I touch the front door. The other one lets us pet them. They're a little bit more sociable. A little. And, so we put the camera up there so we could see when the social cat came, so that we could go out and talk to them and say hi, because we didn't know what times they were coming by, because for a while we'd stopped seeing them. And now this new cat that we saw walking around outdoors, we saw on our camera, is coming to our house and eating here. So we're now feeding 3 different cats. Actually, no, I take that back. It might be 4, because I think Russell saw a black one on the camera too.
Yep.
No, we're feeding 4 different cats now. And we're like, what? What the hell is this shit? Like, I really only had put food out for the one because I felt bad. Because he just kept sitting on our porch staring in our front door. Like, hey, I'm lost and hungry. No, he was just hungry. And I'm just like, what? What is with all of the cats? Like, people, fix your cats. Seriously. Like, I would never let my cats go outside anyhow, because I'm the type of person that, like, my cat's gonna get hit by a car, it'll never come back, and I'll never know what happened to it, you know? But here, I don't know if these cats are feral, outdoor cats, barn cats that walked off the job, or what, because I would never, especially in this area, let my cat be an outdoor cat. There's periodically been bear sightings. There are coyotes. We've heard them. And there's semi-traffic that goes through town. Like tractor trailers, 18-wheelers. There's crazy-ass people driving through here. Like, what? There's enough squished fluffy things on the road between raccoons and possums and the non-squishy or the non-fluffy armadillos. Y'all, it's so sad to see a armadillo that got hit by a car. 'Cause, like, they'll just be upside down on the side of the road with all their feet in the air. It's like, what? And there's deer that get hit all the time. Like, I don't know. I could never just, let my cat be an outdoor cat and be like, well, it's up to you. Figure it the fuck out. Stay out of trouble. I mean, some of them could have been barn cats that were like, fuck this noise, and went for a walk or something, but don't really know. And I was all crooked there. Alright, so I know I'm jumping around here. That's just the way it's gonna be today. So I'm not sure how long we're going today, because I kind of need to get this other blue set up, and we need some more green. Alright. I think we'll do the rest of our blue that we've got pulled out. So I'm gonna try to twist that real quick here. I've got glue all over my fingers and my fingernails. I'm a hot mess here. Today might be shorter because I do have some things to go do here that I need the husband's help for. I know he's got some stuff he wants to do. Crab tank needs rearranging and some stuff cleaned. And I think we need to do a crab check. We've only seen one randomly recently, and there was supposed to be 4, so it could have been different ones that we saw that just reburied themselves. It's kind of hard to tell them apart. You alright, puppy? Okay. And I have to record some stuff for a different project. Okay. Kind of like our multi-mess here. And apparently Momo thinks that I should be done streaming because he's growling at me. What? Are you okay? But we're gonna have to take him somewhere after he gets his stitches out, so that he knows the car's not scary anymore. Poor pupper. My poor pupper. Hopefully I can pet his neck again without him being all shaky.
I'm pretty sure we'll be fine in that regard, huh? Well,
Alright.
you did harm to it, so...
No, but he definitely wasn't happy.
No, but I don't think it's neck-based. I think it's just unpleasant experience.
My hand looks 10 times better. Oh, you guys didn't get to see it. I had that covered last week. It looked pretty bad. Like, the scabs have fallen off twice now. It's in a tough spot when you, like, scrape your skin open there. Because it's in a section of skin that's, like, constantly moving. Band-Aid really doesn't want to sit. Just kind of twisting those little tails in. I think the body will... Oh, glue bubble. It was a glue bubble until I touched it. That was actually kind of cool. I probably should have let that harden a little bit. This guy smooshed in there. Alright, so if you do decide to just dive in there with your fingers, you probably will have to dig some glue out from underneath of your fingernails. Just be warned. If your nails are pretty, I don't know if I would dive in there. Depends on how much you don't want your manicures messed up. My hands look like crap, so I really don't care. I've never been a do your nails kind of girl, besides the nail polish remover, and the nail polish smells themselves. Instant headache. I can't do it. But that's okay. More for others, right? More for others. Okay, so I'm not gonna put glue down for just that one. Okay, so there's my blue. I don't know what I'm gonna put for right now. For right now, I'll just stick him back there. Okay, now it's gonna chill out there and get happy, hopefully. Alright. So, get my stick. And start putting in some spots for a few more feathers. Just kind of wherever the feather fancy strikes, I suppose. Okay, that over there. Alright, so this is where you're probably going to need your stick again. Stick or stylus or whatever. So I'm kind of coming back in and seeing where I've got extra white sections peeking through that look pretty noticeable. And we're probably going to have some of those. Not going to be a whole lot that we can do about that, unless we really layer up our feathers, and we could do that. That is a possibility. Very much so. Alright. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I might end up just doing all sorts of weird stuff here. We'll have to see. I think it'll look a little, I mean, it's going to be a little messy. We might not sell this one. We might keep this one for us, and that's fine. I have another project I'm also working on. Slowly around everything else. Hoping to get a little bit more done on that in this week. That depends on how far I get for Bloodthirsty. Got one more character to get leveled for that this week. Alright, and actually I think we'll probably stop there for today. Because what I've got done, I want to dry, I want to look at it and figure out how I want to handle some of this stuff, so we're gonna pause there for today. So thank you guys for popping in. I know it was a shorter one, but we got a little bit done. We got the coloring, the multicoloring done on the neck. We got our outline started on the body, and started to lay in some things for our eye pieces on the feathers, and I'll get some of the other colors prepped for next week so we can get those going. But yeah, I think we're gonna stop there for today. So you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and I will see you on Wednesday for Bloodthirsty. Alright, so you guys have a good one.